Well, it wouldn't be power tour without any issues. Pal's out of the garage. I had a bug fly in my eye. Cool story. Backed it out from right here to right here. She died on me. Uh-oh. That ain't good. Just stalled out. Not fun. So I started playing around with stuff, thinking master or the map sensor. Change that out. Nope. Tore into that idle air control again. Nope. Took the throttle position sensor off. Nope. Oh, that's good to go. Hey, check your fuel pressure. I got 0 fuel PSIs. That's not a good feeling when you just changed out a fuel pump. So I go to start diagnosing it. And if you guys remember from my fuel pump video, got this little jumper, plug it into there, plug it into there. Did that to start, and I had nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, as you can imagine, started getting very, 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 very frustrated. Started looking around for another fuel pump, see if anyone's got one handy. And I thought, you know what? Let's do the logical thing before we go a little too crazy. Start doing the multimeters. Put a multimeter in the back. I had no voltages to the rear harness plug. So that plug is underneath the car here. Right there. Didn't have any with the bypass, and I didn't have any with just turning the key on. So that's not good. So came back up to the fuse block. Started messing around with the relays. And once you know, the relays for the air conditioning compressor and the fuel pump are the same. So I switched those around and got some noises, got some clicking, got some stuff to work. Ended up getting power to the back when I jumped it. Go to turn the key on, still got nothing. Fuel pump still wasn't kicking on. So, key's on, jumper cable's on, that relay's swapped out, one that I know that works. Close the door, driver's side door, all of a sudden I hear the fuel pump kick on. Like a loud kick on like it should be. That's odd. So I got a loose wire somewhere. The good news is I don't have to change out the fuel pump again, because I got a full tank of gas in there, and that wouldn't be fun. So I'm kind of thinking that I might just hot wire it if I can't find it here relatively quickly, because I hear, if you go on the Impala SS forums, that where that wire goes down into the block firewall, somewhere down in here, somewhere down in there, that it gets loose. And I'm thinking that's what happened when I slammed the door, closed the door. It jarred it enough to get it taken care of and whatnot. It's probably got corrosion in there. I've never been into that bulkhead back there, which that's right back in there. You can barely see it between all the lines and stuff. But I don't really want to get in there and do that. So I might just find a keyed ignition source inside the cab and hide a 12-volt source to the back of the car and just put it on a separate relay so the fuel pump is there all the time, just for a temporary permanent fix. So that's what I'm going to be working on here. So here's where I traced it back to when I got it back in the garage. I had the jumper hooked up and it was running, got the car in, fuel pump's going. I noticed my two front lights were on. That's not good. That's not supposed to be like that. So we got a serious crossover problem from the fuel pump to our light system. And where I think it stems from is this harness back here. Had some issues with it prior, tried doing some work. Haven't had really any issues since. I thought it was maybe when I put the resistors on the back. Nope, that wasn't the issue, because now we're at the same problem. So I'm not quite sure where the issue stems from, but I am going to isolate completely the fuel pump from the turn signals, because I don't want to have any issues. And how I know it's something like this, because I had it, car was in here running, and I noticed that those lights were on, and I hit my blinker and the whole dash and everything flickered to the driver's side, and the car shut off, so the fuel pump killed. So I'm gonna go through, try to see if there's a bad short somewhere, do some figuring. These harnesses, they sell them on Rock Auto. I know they go bad. What I think my first plan of attack is going to be is to probably just hardwire them all together. Nope. First plan of attack is going to be isolating the fuel pump out of that so I can get it on its own system. So let me get on that. Well, doing a lot of digital work here. Headlights are off. Sorts of stuff. So what I ended up doing is I took the fuel pump and I isolated it. So that's the power in from the fuse block up there, the normal. That's the fuel sending gauge. The rest of that stuff is taillights, including the ground. I also took the ground and put its own ground right off of the body down here. So now that I got it like that, car is back running just fine. But let me show you what it does. So we got some kind of feedback from the taillights into the parking light system, ground, whatever it might be, and it's causing some issues. What my next play is going to be is I'm going to, I don't think it's the ground back here. Could be, because I mean the ground just goes from right there over to that way. So what I'm going to do, I guess, is I'm going to solder up those hardwired. In there. And I think process of elimination, I'm going to, I do believe it's going to be this. It's causing me trouble, but I'm not quite sure. So I'm going to actually probably take the ground here, snip it, and pop this cover off, find another ground for it so it's not going through there. See if that's causing the trouble. I don't know. I got a couple little options I'm going to do to try to eliminate it, but we're getting feedback some way, somehow, from something. It was getting into the ground, so it was throwing off the ground on this. So I'm pretty sure it's probably the ground side. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to snip the ground right here, ground this to the body, and see if it eliminates the problem. So here's where I'm at. The ground wire from here down, it's fine. From the back of the harness back to there, the continuity test I did on it, it's just all over the place. So what I did, of course you can see I ran a new ground, zipped it in. Gonna do some touch-up paint and clean all that up. Everything's working fine. Button up my fuel sending and whatever. So now the ground for the taillights and the fuel pump are on two different, circuits, I guess. And they're not going into one, and one won't backfeed into the other one. But twofold, because the second problem that I came across with having a bad ground and the continuity was being bad was the bulbs. I thought it was a socket, so pulled the taillight out, of course. Took my LEDs out and I put regular halogens back in, and it wasn't doing anything. So I'm like, okay, circuit wise, check the front, same thing, pulled both sides apart actually. Got to the front circuit here and the front blinker. This is what's giving me the my problem, my culprit right here, is these bulbs. It's an LED, amber, orange, comes on bright, supposed to be like a big bright light. Actually looks pretty cool. I'm kind of disappointed, but something in this bulb, and these bulbs are screwing up the circuitry, and it's allowing a back feed to go from here to the side marker, into the side marker, into the dash, and it's screwing up my dash. Also, because of how that side marker little works, that's off of ground, it's going to ground, and it's basically putting a load into the ground, which isn't good, which was causing my fuel pump issues to begin with the taillights in the back. Yeah, so solution that I came up with is I put a standard 1157 bulb into the front socket, and how I got it wired up right now, it's all good to go. Well, the problem I'm going to have is that's clear, and you can't have a clear bulb in the front for your marker, so I had to go to the hardware store and get me some amber 1157 halogens. That I'm going to throw in there for right now, because I don't have time to get another set or something off of Evil Bay for LEDs in the front. So we're going to go ahead and install those and get this thing buttoned back up and wrap this video up. So there it is, all working. It's not flashing the dash and not getting that feedback. Front's working as intended. My amber bulb on the side marker is blinking. That's amber. Parking side marker lights come on. And of course all my rear LEDs are working as intended. So yeah, I guess that was my issue, was a few different things. So glad I narrowed it down, and I'm gonna get this thing figured out, or buttoned back up now. So now fuel pump kicked on, blinker's good, does not have any issues there. Back is blinking, both sides. Front, got that bulb in there, a little slower, but you know what, it's fine. So let's go fire this gal up, take it for a spin around the block. Oh yeah, works even with the headlights on. Good. I did have an issue too when I would drive it. Sometimes the light would be lazy on, and I'd have to kind of cancel it, but yeah, it's hopefully just taken care of now. But let's run her out and see what she does. So I guess it wouldn't be power to her without an Impala issue, so hopefully we got the bugs worked out of it. Seems to be running fine so far. I have to sneak into her here a little bit and see what she does. Doing all right. 60. So I'll actually get into detailing out the inside like I wanted to today, but